Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with On the Fly review for you, and today I'm talking about Evil Dead Burn, released earlier this month, I think just last week ago. This is the sixth Evil Dead movie. There's the original Sam Raimi trilogy with Bruce Campbell, which are their own unique little movie. You have the poorly written but over-the-top violence, the first one, the wonderful, brilliant blend of cartoon, like comedy, and nightmarish horror of the sequel, which itself is kind of just more of an unofficial remake of the first movie. And then you have Army of Darkness, which is kind of like the Three Stooges, but with an R rating, zombies and demons and such. I loved all three of them individually. My favorite in the whole series has got to be Evil Dead 2, though. It seems like Army of Darkness is probably the most popular, and we had an Army of Darkness poster growing up in my house. But the second one's my favorite, Dead by Dawn. I went to see Evil Dead 2013, with Sarah when it first came out. I was very disappointed. I thought the first hunk of it was real good, the cast was good, but the whole movie goes down like the Hindenburg, in my opinion. And as soon as Jane Levy crawls out of the grave, I hated the whole third act of that movie so much. I loved Ash vs. Evil Dead TV show. I watched it when it first came on, and I binge watched it at least twice, maybe three times during COVID. I love that freaking show. That's a great show. And I really liked Evil Dead Rise from, what was it, 3 years ago now? I want to say 3 years ago. I thought that was very good. I thought it was a breath of fresh air with a different setting. And I did like how it was a family we instantly are rooting for, so it's gonna hurt when they start dying off and being possessed by the Deadites. Now this movie. Now right off, I was kind of slightly taken aback because I wasn't expecting this to pick up right up with where the cold open ended in the last movie, out in the lake house. We go right from that to this story, which seems very convoluted and forced. There's this whole story about this family coming together. This woman with her in-laws after the tragic death of her husband, and a lot of unresolved issues on both sides come to surface as they deal with their tragedies, and then demons get tied up into all that as well. Now, I do think you could have. I did like the balance of the family, especially the slow reveal, and even heavier and heavier as it goes, that these not only are not the best of in-laws, but these are some pretty awful people before in general. And that could have been all interesting, but it threw me off because I wasn't expecting an immediate remake, the sequel. The Deadites have way too much dialogue and focus, and just whole plans about they want the book and they want the dagger, and all this really kind of ruined the Deadites for me in a way. There's too much of them. There's too much. There's a reason Freddy Krueger is never the lead role in a nightmare movie. And then there's the big problem with this film, which is the third act. It completely falls apart in its third act. For the most part, even though I think the American accents were notably off, I didn't even know who any of these actors were, but I could tell they weren't American. Just the accents felt inconsistent. And the gore effects were pretty cool. And then we get to the third act, though. And we go from... Now it's basically just a typical chase the girl, lose her weapon, rinse, repeat, hide, get caught, fight them off, run again. the first 15 minutes or so until it's time to roll credits, and I hated the ending of this. And on top of that, there's this awful CGI and character design for the final Deadite. He's laughably stupid looking. And then there's also that problem. I felt the Deadite attacks in general felt too much like action scenes, far too choreographed and violent. There wasn't enough of a sense of uh, proper chaos. I mean, I see what they were going for, but I don't know. It just felt too. I don't. It felt like the wrong genre. I thought this movie was a misfire. I'm giving it 2.5 stars, even though there are things there I like. There's one excellent scene with the mother-in-law Susan when she's alone with two of the Deadites, which I think is genuinely one of the best scenes in the whole fucking franchise. I would have liked more of that, more of thinking outside of the box and giving us things we haven't seen before. Uh, but ultimately, yeah, this movie was a disappointment, even though it had its moments. 2.5 stars. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.